Hey friends, come along with us while we revisit our trip to see the wonderful sights in Jordan. Hi, this is Scott from Scott and Tracy Traveling. Welcome to our channel where our motto is, travel now, it may be later than you think. Following our tour in Egypt, we flew to Amman, Jordan, where our driver took us to a viewpoint overlooking the ancient Roman theater. We did a quick walk through the streets of the old town before heading to a restaurant. We ate a rice, lamb, and yogurt dish called mansaf and a pizza-like kofta. Our driver then treated us to kunefe from a famous shop. It was all delicious. The following morning, our driver, Wael, braved the rush hour traffic to take us to the Greco-Roman ruins at Jerash. We entered through the Arch of Hadrian, constructed to commemorate the emperor's visit. This ancient site had great descriptions of the remains. It also looked like the Hippodrome staged daily Roman army reenactments, but we didn't have time to see it. We just peeked into the arena. The tour company we used arranged for a site guide, and he took us through the ancient town. Eventually, we came to the Oval Plaza with a beautiful colonnade. This is when we noticed the numerous columns on Jerash. Our guide said that it is estimated that the ancient town once had about 1,000 columns. Off the main streets were courtyards with fountains and buildings with carvings that are still visible. The details of the column capitals were also amazing. We were told that the ancient town had sewers beneath the streets and that this was a manhole cover for access. The column-lined streets were stunning. We were surprised that we hadn't even heard of Jerash before planning this trip. Although the site was pretty deserted, there were a few vendors scattered among the ruins. Here, a vendor creates a desert scene with sand in a glass jar. He had quite a wide selection of styles. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for your continued support. If you're new to our channel, we're glad you found us. We are a retired couple who love to travel and hope our videos will inspire others to travel the world. Any questions or comments are welcome. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as it helps promote the video, and consider subscribing to our channel. The ancient site also included 2 theaters. It looks like this one probably is still used for performances. We also saw a few temples. It also looked like they were still doing archaeological work here. The other theater had a couple musicians in period attire playing for tips. We really enjoyed our visit to this wonderful ancient site. Following Jerash, we drove over Mount Nebo, where Moses was said to have seen the promised land of the Jordan Valley below. Then down to the Dead Sea, where we had a day pass at a lakefront resort. We got a view of the Dead Sea before securing our belongings and cameras in lockers. For the next couple hours, we floated in the Dead Sea and smeared the therapeutic mud on ourselves. We had a nice lunch at the resort before returning to Amman. The next morning, Wael said he was taking a detour and took us past the Crusader Castle of Montreal from the 12th century. It was so cool because I've read about it in a few books. We also saw this quirky VW Bug, which advertised itself as the smallest hotel in the world. A little late because of the detour, we didn't stop until we reached our big destination of the day, Petra. Our site guide was waiting for us at our hotel, so we immediately headed to the archaeological park. Along our walk down into the valley, our guide explained that Petra was settled in the 4th century BC by a nomadic Arab group called the Nabateans. Vendors in the park offered many forms of transportation down into the valley. Our guide pointed out that Nabateans, who are traders, obviously had contact with other cultures since this structure showed both Egyptian obelisks and Greek columns. Further down, we entered the Sig, a slot canyon. There were a number of carvings in the rock walls, including this eroded figure of a person with a camel. And at the end of the narrow canyon was the treasury. Seen in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, this is probably the most famous site in Jordan. Our guide explained that the Greeks and other succeeding occupiers mistakenly thought that this was a treasury, but it was actually a tomb of a Nabatean king. This was definitely the busiest place in the park. Many of the vendors were Bedouin or used their custom of using Arabic coal to blacken their eyelashes. This product made of juniper sap and soot helps keep the sun as well as dust out of their eyes. The guide said that the black eyeliner on the Bedouin guys made them look like Captain Jack Sparrow. Although the treasury is the most well-known tomb in Petra, there were many tombs all over the valley. It was amazing how well preserved some of the carved structures were. Tombs ranged from modest to grandiose. The archaeological park is very large, and a guide said that you could spend up to a week exploring the entire site. However, we only had a few hours and saw only a fraction of the area. Still, it was quite an amazing experience. After a night in Petra, we stopped at an overlook heading out of the valley. We did a brief stop to see an old train on the way to our next and last site in Jordan, Wadi Rum. The Wadi Rum Preserve has been used in a number of movies like Lawrence of Arabia, The Martian, and several of the Star Wars movies. The rawness of the desert landscape was beautiful. To see this area, we rode in the bed of a 4x4 truck, and although we had great views, we also got showered with sand. We also saw a number of luxury campsites on our drive. We were told that these figures were probably carved by the Nabateans. Seeing Wadi Rum was an amazing experience, and we thoroughly enjoyed our time in Jordan. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to our continuing journeys.